We now return to Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze, sponsored today by Colobarts Entertainment. Learn more at colobartsent.com.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. Let's welcome the talented actor Ambula Quaye. Hello there.
Kathy, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Good to see you in person. So I caught you on the big screen and you were fabulous.
Thank you very much. You look fabulous yourself today.
Thank you. Thank you. So Ambula, where are you originally from?
Originally, I was born in West Africa, specifically in Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been here in Arizona?
Basically the entirety of my whole life. So I was there in Liberia from around age of 1, and then went over to Ghana and stayed there for about another 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years. And then once it was my time was up, I finally came up to Arizona, and after that, I've been here since I was 7, and I'm currently 25.
So you just a darn native now.
Yeah, just
but it's okay. Be like my mom. Claim your country. Claim where you're from. My mom would say, "I'm from Tennessee."
Oh yeah.
Like, Mom, you've been here in Arizona since you were a young girl.
See, I tell my parents the same thing too. I said, I'm basically from Phoenix, Arizona. There's no difference, nothing else. I know more about Phoenix, Arizona than I actually do know about where I came from.
Right.
You know,
just growing up. It would always be a part of you.
Always.
Have you gotten back?
Not yet. Me and my dad did plan on going back to Liberia this summer.
Oh, okay.
Well, next summer, 2024. And visiting some family, since I do have a vast majority of my family out there still.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
that's
really
awesome.
Looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Bring some of the culture back here and share on the screen what you do.
Oh yeah.
And put your culture into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're an actor.
Yes, I am.
And I met you on the big screen is where I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
I saw your performance, and you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
You're a part of it's called the Bloodline series.
Correct.
And we interviewed your writer-director, Mr. Gaines here, Christian Gaines, also about Bloodline. So we were really excited to see it at your red carpet event, and you guys were amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that project took a lot of work and effort for that one.
I'm sure it did. So as an actor, what was it that inspired you? What was it that made you want to be a part of this series?
Honestly, acting has always been a thing of mine since I was a kid. I remember growing up watching Disney, and then they'll have the infomercial saying, "Oh, sign your kids up for acting. Call this number." And I always go up to my dad and say, "Dad, call them, see, please call them." And then he would just laugh and just completely ignore what I said. And then throughout the years, I just noticed that I kind of like attention a little bit. Not too much, not too low, but
just the right amount
just
of
the right
attention.
amount for it, to the point it does not get annoying in any form or sense. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is your first role. Tell us a little bit about Bloodlines. What did Bloodlines mean for you?
For me, Bloodline really meant a lot for me, because the story that was told is something I could truly relate to. So Bloodline goes on discuss the story, based out here in Phoenix, Arizona, about friends and family and drugs and money and sexual relationship all just colliding with each other, and just tugging and pulling away from certain parts of people. And it starts off with the kid being murdered, and I could relate to that since I have a friend that was murdered in violence, and it really just struck me when Chris Davion was telling me about that. So, oh my gosh, I said this is gonna be a very touchy series going on. And then next is just the actors themselves, or the characters. We have characters that's going to school. We have characters that's dealing dope on the side and trying to keep the family together. And personally, in my family, they're not out here, but I do have a cousin. He's out of state somewhere, but he was in that life one point, and then I saw how it damaged him, and yeah, so it just.
So really, this was like real life for you.
Very realistic.
And I know from the interview with the director. I mean, he's a native of Arizona, And this is about telling the story that he's lived in his communities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he just sit down and I'm going to write this
And you know what's the crazy
fictional
part?
script.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, some of it is fiction, but it's about his life and his experiences.
Correct. Yeah, and then to hit the point about in his community, we're we're both from the same community as
Oh,
well, so that's why it felt very close to home because we're
mm,
raised in the same community. We see the same amount of stuff every single
right,
day, and we kind of get tired of it.
right.
You know, it's something that gets
But
very
you
tiring.
know what? We talk about that as community members. We get tired of things,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't do anything. But in order to see change, we have to do something.
Correct.
Even if it's one person, if you're touching one person at a time, and that's what your film could do.
Mm-hmm.
People seeing that on the big screen, one person, it may have changed in that audience that night. I
Correct.
mean, they may have said, "I don't want to live like that anymore."
Mm-hmm.
So that's what writing, performing, acting, that's what it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's you doing your part in our community in a positive way. And that's what I saw when I saw you guys performing
Yeah.
that night. You know what, I saw, I didn't, you know what, I didn't even really see actors. I saw real people telling their
Correct.
stories. That is what I saw. Because being a native of Arizona, seeing the city streets, seeing the areas that I knew
Mm-hmm.
on screen, that's what it felt like home.
Yeah.
Not that some movie I was watching and I knew nothing about that
Exactly.
culture. So tell us about your character. What was his name?
So my character name has not been developed yet,
Okay.
since we were going to work on that as we get further progress
Okay.
through.
Okay.
But as of right now, he's looked at as a hoodlum.
Okay.
So he's going to be the hitman for the main
Oh.
character, or one
Oh.
of the main character Black,
Okay.
where he's taking out hits, order, and just
Ah.
being kind of being like his wingman. You know,
Uh-huh.
just anything he says, I do. Obey him and just
Mm.
move forward and try to elevate the drug game, with
Mm.
me being by his side.
Oh.
So that's the character I'm currently playing,
Okay.
and I enjoy that character as well too.
Okay. Well, you know, I mean, that's real life. That's the way it goes. There's
Mhm.
always, I mean, the main man don't do all the dirty work on his own.
No,
There's always a
the
wingman.
wingman.
That's the one that's really doing all the
Mhm.
hard work.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So this was your first film.
Correct.
So what was it like? What was that feeling like for you?
So I remember getting on set. It was very nerve wracking. Chris Avion sent me out the script about a month and a half in advance, 2 months, for my particular part, and so I read it, studied it, went over, kind of really get into that character development
Mm.
on how to really portray this energy that I'm going to be playing, because it's not just a character, it's an energy
Mm.
that you have to feel. So I went over to study, and then it came to the final day. I was very nervous,
Mm.
shaking,
That's a good thing.
shy.
If you're not nervous, something's wrong.
Oh yeah, very nervous. I said, can you come pick me up? Let's drive together so we can talk a little bit, and so I could just get the anxiety and also
I like that.
stuff out my head. And then we did that. So the scene where I was in the warehouse scene,
Uh-huh.
and I remember that day it was extremely hot.
Mm.
It was about in the middle of the summer, and the warehouse did not have no HVAC system, no AC, nothing whatsoever. And I was in a ski mask.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I remember by the end of that
Chris
day,
Davian had y'all working hard.
he had us working. He had us working very hard. So yeah, so in a ski mask, and then when it came to the actual scene, um, I just saw camera everywhere, just cameras just placed everywhere, and that's my first time in that environment.
Uh-huh.
Especially on a bigger level. I did a small YouTube stuff over there and
Right.
there, but seeing stuff like that, it was nervous, but I thought to myself, took my breath in, out, just slow down my heart rate and just get ready. And then when the first word came out my mouth, boom, all the nervousness was gone. And I remember,
Right.
okay, I'm acting. This is what I prepared for.
Mm.
And so let's do it. It's not like I didn't practice.
Right.
Mhm.
And you did a couple of good things. You contacted the writer, your director,
Mhm.
and you asked for help.
Yes.
You didn't think, oh, I know this all myself. I can do this. You asked for help when you had questions.
Mhm.
And that's what we should be able to do as entertainers. If we're insecure or have questions about something that we're trying to do that's going to better the project, Ask
Yeah.
for help. There's
Yeah.
nothing belittling or wrong with asking for help. So I'm happy to hear that you did that.
Yeah.
First, with this being your first film,
Mhm.
and I mean, it sounds like you have a major role in this film also, as well as a series.
Yes.
So you're going to be coming back.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see more of it. So we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
All right.
Welcome back to Desert Days, and I am here with Ambula Quaye. So we are talking about your role in Bloodline series, which is a major role since,
Mhm.
as you stated, you're going to be next to the main guy.
Correct.
So I recall after interviewing Christavian, he had mentioned that this was going to be like a 4-part series.
Mhm.
Do you know if your character makes it all the way through?
You know.
Interest in mine, we want to know.
Oh, I can't really give out too much information.
Of
We did
course.
sat back a couple weeks ago discussing chapter 2, since we are working one chapter at a time and developing from there
Mhm.
as we get momentum and flow. But what I can tell you is that my character will be developed and have
Okay.
more of a impactful
Uh-huh.
role in the series,
Okay.
and you will be seeing him a lot more. But based on the type of character I'm playing, I could either end up anywhere.
That's
you know?
true. That's
Anywhere,
true.
like in real life.
Mhm.
I could be there, I could be there.
Right, because it seems like, I mean, he's trying to touch as close to home as
Mhm.
possible, and anything could happen.
Hmm.
That's true. That is true. So, Ambula, you you gave a speech at the red
Yeah.
carpet event,
Mhm.
the premiere that just touched my heart so, because I've gone through so many premieres and events and stuff, and it's always about me, thanking myself, and I've done this. I loved what you did. And I think it's probably the first time I've ever seen anyone get up there and say, I want to thank my mom and dad.
Hmm.
That touched me so much that night. Tell me about what was going through your mind at that moment.
So, as I did send a speech, my mom just passed away April April 22nd, and it was a rough time for me after I lost her, because my mom was my everything. She did, when I say everything for me, everything. She's the one that fought for me to come to this country today. She could have chose any of my other siblings. She did leave some of them behind to get me out here, because apparently she probably saw something in me that I didn't know at the time. She's the one that fought for my citizenship. She's the one that really motivated me to do better in life, go to school, graduate, and make something out of myself. And she was just like, I'm truly a mama's boy. And then on the other hand, there's my father, and my father really just taught me how to be a man,
Yes.
and not even a man at that, but a gentleman. How to be respectful, kind, and courteous towards one another, and also how to be very competitive and put your foot down too, not letting no one step over you. So understanding those two role models in my life, it really just helped me create who I am as a person.
Right.
And I always got to give shout out to them, because unfortunately some people don't have both parents in their
That's
life,
true.
and others don't have a single parent in their life.
Right. That's
And-
true. And some have two parents, but they didn't instill what you
Mhm.
just listed there in them as well.
Correct.
And especially being in this industry that's really hardcore, you need those things
Correct.
that your dad put in you and
Mhm.
your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned, I mean, your mom and dad come from two different worlds. So you had a mixture of two different worlds that they were teaching and training you. So where's your mom originally from?
So my mom is originally from Liberia.
Okay, and your dad is from another place, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how far apart is that?
Well, that's about, let's say, about 2 countries away from each other
Okay.
on the west side of Africa.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And then they brought you. You know what? I must say, you mentioned your mom choosing to bring you, fighting to bring you here.
Mhm.
As a mother, I know that had to be the hardest thing in the world for her to have to pick and choose, leave
Mhm.
one child and bring another child.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine having to do that. That's,
Mhm.
I mean, not that there's any love lost left off of the other children. I know that she loved them all,
Of course.
but I mean that had to be the hardest thing in the world.
Yes. it
So
sure was.
thank you for recognizing your parents.
Mhm.
So I like to go as a new aspiring actor. What advice would you give to this young man or young lady that's looking and saying, I want to do what Ambula's doing, but I don't know how to get started, or I don't feel like I can do this? What advice would you give that person?
So that's probably be someone that don't have that sense of direction. So the best advice I could possibly give someone who wants to do something that they're interested into as far as acting is really get to know people in your community. That's going to be your strongest backbone. And from there, just start really watching other actors, connecting with them on social media, since that's in today's age, social media will get you very far.
Right.
Talking to them, hanging out
Pay
with them.
attention to the right things, the good things, the positive things.
Of course,
out there.
just some positivity, and that's my best advice. So just networking is gonna be your best friend, because when it comes to getting a position, I mean roles as an actor, it's going to be based off of reference, you know.
That's true nowadays.
And,
That's true.
So it's not really just looking at what you've done, especially if you haven't done anything.
Right.
It'd be based off reference. They'd be like, oh, okay, this person, I can see the potential in them. Why don't you have them come here audition and give them a chance and see what you like? So just network and build up your reference list.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to see next with your character in Bloodlines? What would you like to see? Not with the writer. What would you like to see?
With my character? Okay. With my character in Bloodlines, I like to see more of a... I like my character to turn a little bit more greedy, you know? A little bit more, as they call it, shiesty. And wanting to gain more power in the streets. And kind of be snaky.
You trying to push Black out?
No, I would never want to push Black out, but that's why I like to see in my character, because I know from a real life standpoint, that's what always happens like that. You'll see oftentimes in the news where two friends run the friend. Yeah, so
you want to see him be a little bit more grittier.
A lot more grittier. Just so it can stick into other people. And then also, I just want, if I do get that for my character, I also like to see him punished. You know, because Bloodlines it's not just a series, a movie, or any of that. It's really to teach a life lesson on, if you do this is the consequence.
This is the consequences.
So I would definitely love to see some good consequences going along with my characters.
Do you see any of you in that character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you able to share? What you see?
Of course, I can tell you what I see in my character. So as far as seeing me in that character, is seeing one that's a very loyal character to his friends and family. So that's definitely me right there. But also one that wants power and wants to lead and gets tired of leading from the side or being a second leader, third leader, so forth. So that's what I see in that character, and that's why I really like that character right there.
That's awesome. So aside from Bloodlines, do you have any other projects you're working on at this time?
Yes.
Are you able to share?
Of course. So I'm very big into fitness.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have a collab coming up with this fitness clothing brand called Distorted.
Okay.
And we have a it's gonna be more of a Instagram reel type advertisement commercial.
Okay.
To promote the brand. And we'll be doing a couple, like a relationship video in the fitness industry with me and my girlfriend, just promoting the brand and showing how this brand could alter your life as far as confidence wise. And so we're just gonna show confidence and direct it in that sense.
Okay. Is this a local brand?
Yes, it's locally owned brand out here in Arizona.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
So out of all you're doing and have done so far, what do you want to do next in the industry? As an actress, is there as an actor, is there a role that you want to play other than this gritty guy? Is there, superhero, police officer?
Not police officer.
A cowboy. Is there a role out there for Ambula that you want?
I would definitely like to play a role of a multi-billionaire type of guy that find himself in some type of trouble financially and has to figure out a way how to persuade the public to get on the side and just come up with a way to gain finance again and get back to status
It
where you
sounds
once
like you're a
was.
writer. You just need to write that script yourself because you just told us. So where can our audience find you, Ambula?
They can find me mainly on Instagram right now at low bounce. Well, that's _low bounce, and then yeah.
Okay. Well, it was such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be watching you and see all the other work that you're going to be having out there because I know you're going to be working a lot more.
Oh yeah.
So keep up the great work. Continue to be humble. And remember all those things your mom and dad instilled in you.
Will do.
Thank
You're going to
you.
see a lot of good things coming up 2024. I promise
Thank you. Congratulations.
Mhm.
And thank you for joining us here today on Desertwood Days. And we'll catch you next time.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze was sponsored today by Colobarts Entertainment. Visit them at colobartsent.com.